What's up? Welcome back to Hobby Jogging Elite. My name's Connor, and we're here today to talk to you about what probably is my winner for Shoe of the Year 2022, the Saucony Endorphin Speed 3. Can't wait to get into it with you guys. If you're enjoying the videos, make sure you like, subscribe, ring that bell if you want to notify when I have some new videos for all of you. I typically like to post every Friday on this channel. We are talking about what might be the best shoe from the year of 2022. So we will get into some specs first for this lovely blue shoe. This shoe reminds me of like the Blue Man Group. I don't know if that's a dated reference at this point, but it just that pure, smooth blue colorway. Some people don't like it, some people like it. I am personally a fan of it. It's very striking, very unique. Love it. Some specs. This shoe at a men's size 9.5, which is my size, is just under 8 ounces at 7.9 ounces or 223 grams. So for something that falls into the realm of the daily trainer or a long run shoe or whatever areas this shoe covers, which spoiler alert, it's a lot of them. It is a pretty lightweight shoe. On top of that, it has an 8mm drop. So it's 36mm in the heel, 28mm in the forefoot. I would say when you hear 26mm in the forefoot at this point in time, doesn't sound that max cushion these days because you have shoes coming from New Balance where you are seeing 40mm plus in the heel and 30mm plus in the forefoot. But this feels like a very comfortable max cushion shoe. Goes for miles and keeps you comfortable for miles. In addition to that, just like the first and second iterations of the Endorphin Speed, which I also thoroughly enjoyed, this shoe has a nylon plate. So you are familiar probably with the carbon plate racing shoes that are just as lightweight but have a little bit of stiffness paired with that soft super foam. This shoe is a bit more flexible than those carbon plated shoes, yet it still has a plate in there. I think it's a bit more democratized to everybody who runs. It's not going to be as harsh on your kinetic chain in your lower leg, on your ankles, on your calves when it comes to regular running. I don't personally like to wear carbon plated racing shoes multiple times a week. Maybe I'll wear them once a week, maybe not at all during the week. But this shoe is a lot more generous, it's a lot more forgiving, but it still gives you that sort of snappy feeling that a carbon plated shoe will without the rigidity of the carbon plate, if that makes sense. It's a bit more flexible, but it still has that pop to it. It also has that classic Pebax foam, that Power Run PB that Saucony has been using, which is probably one of my favorite foams ever at this point. Kind of looks like styrofoam when you look at it up close, and it certainly doesn't feel that way. It feels premium on foot, but you know, the paint can come off, as you can see there in the front, and it will literally look like compressed styrofoam together. Some people think it looks like Adidas's formulation of Boost, but I would say it performs much better than that, and it is much more lightweight. So what were some of my likes when it came to the Saucony Endorphin Speed 3? First of all, it's a very breathable upper, and I love what they did with this upper. It feels stretchier, yet better. It didn't feel like the upper needed a ton of improvements, in my opinion, when it came to the Saucony Endorphin Speeds 1 and 2 respectively, but they definitely stepped it up. They added some new sort of overlays towards the back that definitely offer a little bit more structure. In the heel, it still has that semi-rigid heel cup towards the heel counter in the back, so it keeps you locked in, and overall this upper is definitely more generous than the previous two. I wouldn't say I have an extremely wide foot, but I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is the slimmest of slim pencil feet and 10 is a wide boat of a foot, I'm somewhere in the middle, like a 6, maybe a 6.5. And I found that this upper had plenty of room. It's definitely wider in the forefoot than it was previously, and it made it an even more comfortable shoe than it already was. So this shoe definitely moved from, okay, I'm gonna sacrifice some width for performance on some of my training runs, to this is one of the most comfortable shoes I own now. And with the wideness, breathability of the upper came an increase in width of the actual midsole and outsole. So I believe it's now even wider all throughout. It is wider in the heel, it's wider in the midfoot, and it's wider in the forefoot. That has definitely improved not only the way it feels out on the run, but I think also its durability. I think with how slim it was in the heel up through the forefoot, it was causing even some neutral runners to sort of collapse inwards and pronate, which with that repeated pronation caused some durability issues on the inner edge of the midsole. It would crease quicker, it would compress quicker, and ultimately people weren't getting as many miles out of the 1 and 2 as they would like to. I'm at 200 miles in this shoe now, and it still feels absolutely amazing, and I'm not getting that sort of collapsing sensation that I was at times with the 1 and 2. In disclosure, I'm a neutral runner. I only buy neutral running shoes. I've never needed stability before, and even those Saucony Endorphin Speed 1 and 2 shoes at times had me collapsing a little bit more than I normally would. Pronation is normal, it's natural, it's sort of your body's natural shock absorption to combat that shock from your footsteps. But this shoe, I'm not experiencing that. It feels incredibly stable for a neutral, fast shoe, and I'm absolutely loving it. Obviously, I talked about how lightweight it is. That's a huge plus, but I think it is the most versatile shoe on the market, at least one of the most versatile shoes out there. You could do anything in this shoe. I've run recovery runs in this shoe because of how soft, at least I feel, that Power Run PB foam is. Some people call the Power Run PB a little bit firm compared to other training shoes, but I think the increase in stack height this year made this feel softer underfoot. It feels very bouncy. I think it can go, again, anywhere from those recovery runs where you need some comfort to regular daily training runs where it operates amazingly, to definitely long runs and workouts. I did my first all-out speed workout in this shoe. After 200 miles, it took me that long to make me want to do a speed workout in the shoe. It was so good on the long run, marathon, half marathon pace that I didn't really want to taint my experience with those sort of top-end 5K pace sessions, but it did amazing. I did 6x600 before my 5K this past Sunday, and it felt so good at that like 5:45, 5:50 pace for me, and it felt like I could go even faster in it too, when I have during strides before. But this shoe covers the widest range I've ever seen and remarkably performs at all of those ranges. So if you need one shoe that is going to cover all bases, I think you could do everything from recovery runs to racing in this. I've done 22-mile long runs. It felt more than adequate on that long of a run. This could be a marathon shoe for just about anyone. Great, great versatile shoe. And with the cons, the downsides to the shoe, honestly, I love this shoe so much. I couldn't think of any without being a little bit nitpicky. It is $170 at retail. I'm sure as new iterations come out, as time goes by, you will be able to find it at a discounted price. But for now, the brand new retail price, $170, that's a lot for what I would still classify as a daily trainer, I guess. But you get so much out of it, and because it's such a tweener, it can fulfill so many different tasks, check so many different boxes, comes in at a lightweight, is a stable, neutral running shoe that is clearly durable. After 200 miles, I have very little wear on the outsole outside of some discoloration on the painted foam. It is worth the $170. And Saucony has so many great deals so frequently that you can definitely get this shoe at a discount. So look out for those, because when they come up, you need to snag as many pairs of these as you possibly can. So in conclusion, the Saucony Endorphin Speed 3. Not only one of my most used long run shoes of 2022 and my second most used shoe in my most recent marathon buildup, but a shoe that has performed admirably up to 200 miles, and I think I'll get at least another 200 miles out of this pair. If you have the chance to get this shoe, I highly recommend it. It is the most versatile shoe out there on the market and will perform well with anything you throw at it. Do you enjoy the Saucony Endorphin lineup? What do you think of the Speed? Have you tried the Speed 3 yet? I'd love to hear what you think of it compared to the Speed 1 and the Speed 2. Let me know down in the comments, and if you're not here from my other channel, I have another channel where I focus on books, reading, recommendations, theories, all different kinds of things, tier lists. So check that out down in the description if it sounds like you are into that kind of things. Make sure you like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Peace.